Welcome to another episode of Shaken Not Stirred. Today we have a bike that's a new evolution of the 500cc two-strokes. The 500cc two-stroke engine became extinct in 2007 when the last CR500 ran down Honda's Kumamoto production line in Japan. It was the last of its kind. Kawasaki retired its KX500 in 2004. The last Yamaha WR500 was produced in 1993. Suzuki had a short-lived RM500 venture that came to an end in 1985, and KTM ended their 500cc program in 1993, then went to a bigger 550cc sidecar engine that only lasted 2 years. These warhorses that were made for the men among men were forgotten in time. The big displacement bikes took riders with finesse and a few screws loose to tame them. Now in the world of 450cc heavy four-stroke engines that pump out 60 plus horsepower in the showroom floor, the 500cc doesn't seem as nerve-wracking to ride as it once did. Riders like Sean Collier and Tyler Bowers have shown that these 500cc beasts can be tamed. In recent years, the 500cc two-stroke market has been booming, and without any manufacturer producing these big bore engines, the used 500cc market has exploded, and used parts only last so long. This is where the BRC racing team came together to find a new age solution to the problem. The Calgary, Alberta-based engineering company is best known for their championship-winning Super-Kart 250cc GP engines. With their interest in open bike engines and lack thereof, BRC started developing a 500cc KTM engine kit in 2016. What that means is a KTM 250 or 300 SX, XC, XCW, or EXC two-stroke 2011 through 2016 donor engine is needed, which you provide, to retrofit the BRC kit. The BRC kit mates with the donor engine with no fabrication mods needed to fit the engine back into the KTM chassis. You can also use a 2006 through 2010 engine. However, some fabrication above the cylinder head and silencer coupling points will have to be done. In truth, this is a 500cc engine with a Honda CR500 standard 89mm bore and 82mm stroke. BRC knew that there were around 400,000 to 600,000 KTM 250, 300, 250, 300 two-stroke engines out there that were produced between 2007 and 2016. It is no secret that these smoker engines are KTM's best-selling power plants out of their entire Austrian 2- and 4-stroke fleet, and have been for years. It was a good, educated guess on BRC's part to use KTM smoker engines to start a big bore venture. The BRC engine we got to test was a pre-production. The donor engine and chassis was a 2014 KTM 250 SX that was beat up and old. The donor transmission had countless hours on it, making shifting anything but smooth, but we didn't care. We wanted a taste of the big power plant, even though it wasn't BRC's finished product. The kit runs $5,635. The BRC kit includes everything you need to build the engine, including bearings, seals, gaskets, fittings, fasteners, and even the Dyno Tube FMF pipe and silencer. Many of the parts are made by aftermarket companies like Kinetic, ProX, Vertex, and Hot Rods, so there's no problem replacing parts when needed. BRC even provides a reference sheet of all the parts with part numbers included. Keep in mind the price of the kit does not include installation. It will run another $750 if you would like BRC to transform your donor KTM engine into the 500cc beast in-house. To aid in starting the 500cc power plant, BRC installed a decompression valve in the cylinder head to lessen the compression when starting the bike. It works by pushing the valve in and is released on its own once the engine is fired up. This makes kicking over the engine easier on your leg as well as on the engine. However, it is still an art form to start. Making sure the piston is top dead center, getting a full hard kick, and finding the right throttle position takes some time to figure out the right mixture. We are so used to Alexa start engines in this day and age, we loathe 400 E-Start version, which BRC also provides. Once started, the bike sounded crisp and strong. Vibration didn't feel anything like the CR500s or KX500 rattle traps of the past. On the track, the power was shockingly smooth. It purred rather than barked, making it easy to ride for the average Joe. The power never fell off on top, so you didn't have to shift if you didn't want to. However, our testers did notice that the bike handled much better in the higher gears where there was less engine braking. Lugging the engine was the key to going fast on this bike, although the bottom end power was not enough to pull the high gears out of corners. The clutch had to be abused to get it into the meat of the power band. To get the best of both worlds, our testers learned to downshift as late as possible into the corners so it would handle well upon braking, as well as have the perk of power throughout the corners. The BRC 500 feels slower than it is due to its leisurely revving power. It takes some time to get moving and is hard to judge its shift points, but once it gets moving, it takes off. Its power was extremely broad, but lacked character for our more advanced riders. Luckily, a two-stroke engine can be tuned to your liking fairly easy with a little porting. We feel this is a great starting point to re-emerge 500cc two-strokes. The only future hitch in BRC's step is if it gets too popular and KTM starts to play ball again. For the full write-up of the BRC 500, check out the September issue of Motocross Action magazine. And all the latest news and updates on the 2020 bikes and race coverage, check out motocrossactionmag.com. If you've missed some of our latest two-stroke releases, here's your chance to catch up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.